Hey, Midnight Sun here. We're going to be doing leveling 1 to 18 on the Necromancer here. This is part of the process of doing every single class, and this is the last class we need to do. I chose to do the Necromancer last as it's the one I'm most familiar with, as well as the one that's probably going to be doing this the fastest. In fact, we're going to be starting on Master difficulty. I know for a fact you can do it on Master difficulty. This is one of the few classes you can actually even do a Torment 1 difficulty, clear all the bounties as well, if you get the right conditions for it. So this is going to be a relatively easy process, but we're going to start it out the same as always, which is going through the options and going down to gameplay. Make sure you have auto-equip items, show advanced tooltips, and elective mode turned on. This is optional for all of the HUD things, but if you want, you can pause your screen and take a look at that and copy what I've got there. And then we're going to go over to Kadala here, and for the Necromancer, we're going to try and do gloves, and we're looking for corpse explosions. I've used up all of my legendary or my challenge rift caches on the other characters. I went through about 3 of them so far, so I'm not going to have the bonus of getting those items here. But I do have all of the gold available, so I can go through here and buy some better items from the merchants here. So I'm just going to go through and buy one of everything here and get it updated. I'm not really going to care too much what it is for weapons as well. Let me go through and take that and get that there. And if you don't have the gold, you can always go through here and hire the Templar and take his javelin, which gives you 7.2, so a little bit more damage than what I've got here. And you could scrap the follower item for the scoundrel as well as the Templar shield to get the first node on the altar done. Next, we're going to go over to Act 3, and we're going to go and check out the vendors over there to see if they have any slightly better items from what we have equipped, because all of the vendors have slight differences. So right there, we see there's a slightly better sword than what we have, so we're going to go ahead and take that. This has a little bit more damage than what we have here, but I like some of the other life after kill things in those items. The rest of the stuff looks about the same. This is pretty close to the same, but it does give me a little bit more recovery, so why not take it? And same thing here, slightly more regeneration, but I like the life after each hit a little bit more. And I'm going to move my way down to this guy and see what he's got. We got a little bit more, but I'm going to keep what I got here. Next, we're going to go ahead and go to the Ruins of Sescheron. And our goal here is to get level 4 Corpse Explosion. As soon as we have Corpse Explosion, we're good and we can relax pretty much the whole time. So if you want the easiest leveling from 1 to 18, I would recommend doing it on the Necromancer, and then you could switch over to the other class you want to play from level 1 to 70. So we'll go over that as well later. We're going to stick to the left side here. We got a Pools of Reflection, so I'm going to hit that. And then we're going to dip our way down to the left here because it gives us an open room. And as always, I go through the left side for anything just to get more familiar with the game. And it's the easiest way for me to navigate most of these areas. So now the name of the game is going to be reaching level 4. We're going to hit everybody with these bone spikes and occasionally throw down a bone spear when you get a couple enemies in front of us there. So we're at level 3. One more level to go before we unlock Corpse Explosion. And we're just going to trail all of these enemies. We're not going to care too much about them because there's pretty much no chance of them killing us here. And open up all of these chests as we go along the way, just in case there's something a little bit better than what we've got. Let's see here. There we go. And now we're going to make our way over. There's level 4. So we've got our Corpse Explosion, which means as soon as we have a single corpse, we can explode it as we move forward, dealing all of this damage to everything around us. So here, I'm not sure exactly where to go. I'm going to go ahead and make my way up. I believe last time I saw this, it was down, but just in case, we're going to make our way up. And again, don't worry too much. As long as you get a single corpse, you can explode it and deal damage to everything around you. So we're doing a lot better at maintaining our score streaks or bonus here. There we go. This is a deadly ring. Don't activate it. If you do, you have a really high chance of dying right away. So stay away from this. As always, be a little cautious around elites because any elite can end your run right then and there by walling you off at the worst possible moments. So there's some enemies up there. I just want to drag them down this way a little bit. This is a pretty decent event right here, actually. This is probably the only event I would recommend you do because it allows you to... We're going to actually take care of all of these guys here with Corpse Explosion. Alright, a little bit more. There we go. Because if you complete the event, there's the Barbarian Chief, and he will join you and follow you and act as a sponge for all of the enemies, as well as do a little bit more damage. It's like having an additional follower with you. So that's the only one I would recommend doing. If you can, try and carry this massacre to the next area. So this is one of the only times we've been able to maintain a massacre the whole time. That guy's deadly. I'm not even going to deal with him. Just go to the next area. Should be level 12. There we go. We're going to get our 2 bonuses here. At level 9 is when you unlock these skeletons, so they're going to help us out a little bit. We're going to go ahead and return to town and get the, let's see, the Enchantress's weapon. So we're going to go and talk to her real quick. And if we make our way over to the Enchantress and look at her inventory, we can snag her weapon. That's unlocked at level 11 at the lowest from what I've seen. Making sure I've got everything that I need equipped on me. And the weapon over here is a 37.5 damaging weapon. So this is going to be a massive boost in damage. And now I can go ahead and put on some runes for everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep what I have equipped and just double check the runes and put on this. Let's see, consuming a corpse has a chance to spawn a health glow because that's going to be what's going to keep us alive, and we consume corpses like crazy on the Necromancer. So making our way to the next area here. Anytime you have these enemies that are like elites, go ahead and make your skeletons frenzied, and they should do a boost in damage against these things. They do a lot of damage just as a base, so go ahead and let them do most of the work for you. And then we're going to go ahead and Corpse Explode whenever we run into those green guys. And we're actually looking forward to running to the blue guys here. As long as we're paying attention, they don't have a really big chance of killing us. And they drop so many corpses that they can keep our massacre going for a really long time. Same thing right here. We want to kind of keep the massacre going. So we're just going to kind of tap fire around these guys. And then when they're gathered up together, hit them with a massive Corpse Explosion, taking out the rest. So... it's really, honestly, a dream leveling on the Necromancer compared to the other classes. I don't really have to pay attention or focus as much. It's so much easier maintaining these score streaks. So if you have it, I'd seriously recommend always leveling up on the Necromancer. If I can stay alive, there we go. Wasn't paying attention for half a second. Anyway. Always recommend leveling up on the Necromancer because it's so much easier going through these areas with this, and it can switch. You can switch over to the other classes if you need to for the 18 to 70, or you can start a new class after reaching level 18 on the Necromancer because it's so fast, and then do 1 to 70 on the other classes. So I'm gonna slow down half a pace just because we had a couple near-death moments there because I was just going a little too quick. And there we go. And I didn't want to overwhelm myself too much. So the only thing we have to be careful of is just making sure that when we're exploding everything that we have some distance to maintain between everybody. Now, again, the blue dude should have a high chance of spawning right here, so we got to be a little bit close to paying attention to them. I have died a couple times right when the blue dude showed up because I took a second too late to explode all the corpses around me. So I'm exploding them a little bit early here, making my way up. There we go. And hopefully, if we're lucky, we've got a cursed chest through here. We'll see if we do. Oh, there's the blue guys. That's what I was saying. We got to be a little bit cautious around them. There we go. We're exploding. Exploding. Okay. And we took care of those guys nice and easy. Okay. And that should be everybody. I would like to get a couple more kills there, but boom, we're 18. So that was a perfect run. We've got the cube. And we don't need to level up any further because we've already hit the magic number here. And now we're going to go ahead and leave the game and switch it over to normal difficulty this time. And the only reason we're doing this is because we don't need to level up any further on Master. And the vendor items are going to stay the same regardless. It doesn't matter what difficulty you put them on, you have the same chance of getting the loot. We're going to go ahead and check the area here just real quick to see if there's the right skill or the right bosses. And I'm not seeing anything that I want, but I'm going to go back to Act 3 here to those vendors and get some good gear on. Let's go ahead and go here. And let's see what we've got. Most of these weapons seem to be pretty much the same or worse than what we've got on. Much better there. Let's see, that's pretty decent. I don't think we have a shoulders. I'm going to put that on. We don't have a belt. And I need some boots. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on some boots. And the rest of these seem about the same. That's a lot more. So I'm going to throw that on. Let's see. That's a lot more armor. Okay, and then we'll just sell the rest of this stuff here. And then talk to our Big Mojo fence over here, who should have some better stuff for us. That's nice. Okay. And then we're going to see, ooh, 43 vitality. That's great. And then each of these rings. Okay. And now before we switch back over, I'm going to go ahead and replace, let's see, where am I at here? Decrepify with my Golem. There he is. Command Golem. And we want Flesh Golem on him, which is only available at 18, I believe. And then we're going to switch this over to, let's see, where is it? Decrepify, which we're going to keep on us. That's already on Bloody Mess, which is fine, and the rest of these are fine. Here, we could switch some of these over, so I could switch this over to standalone to increase some of my armor for a little bit here. And I said there was no good bosses, so I'm going to leave the game and start it back in again, and we're looking for, again, Magda, Skeleton King, or Zoltan Cool. Each of those would be fine. For the Necromancer, you would kind of want the Skeleton King or Magna because of the corpses that are going to be used around. So there's Magda, and I don't see the Skeleton King there. So we're going to go to Magda this time. And again, we're trying not to kill anything in this area because as we level up, the boss or Rift Guardian is going to level up, making it slightly more difficult. It's not going to be too much of a difference on the Necromancer here, but still not something that we want. Watch out for any of these elites near here. Oops, I meant to hit slow on them there to slow them down just a hair. We got a lot of enemies near here, which would be great XP, but we're just going to run through the area and ignore most of them. Don't risk your life running through the area here. If you need to kill one or two, go ahead and kill one or two. If you need to kill a lot, kill a lot. Obviously, if you're in softcore, it doesn't really matter if you die, so you can run through even at the risk of death, and it shouldn't be too much of a difference there. Okay, so our goal here is we're going to wait until we get through the animation and throw down our golem right there, and then explode the golem. And then we're going to explode the rest there, and there we go. Nice and fast. And let's see, did we get 2 diamonds? We got 3 diamonds, so we got plenty of what we needed there. So that was the 1 to 70 process on the Necromancer. Much more relaxing, much faster, a little bit more forgiving than the other classes, and we did it on Master Difficulty. So the Master Difficulty classes are the Crusader, the Necromancer, and the Witch Doctor. It looks like those are the only ones that I've gotten that have been able to do that, and that's with some leveling items, you know, kind of on top of that with cubing, or not cubing, gambling some things there. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be leveling up each of the classes from 18 to 70 or 1 to 70, since I already showed the 1 to 18. And for the 1 to 70 guide for each of these classes, we are going to be using the items have no level requirements on the Altar of Rites. So if you want to follow through, you have to do this within a season and have the Altar of Rites second node unlocked, which is what we showed you how to get here with each of these classes, and getting the 2 diamonds that you would need for the altar to level up to a flawless diamond. So, as always, if you want to join the Discord and you have direct questions when leveling, go ahead and post screenshots or post those questions. I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. Really excited for the next season here. We should get a lot of really good builds going, and I'll try and do some more build guides for the next season utilizing these shards of hatred, or I think that's what they're called there, for each of the builds. Get some exciting ones going. But thank you guys for watching, and have a good one. Bye.